I was the only one in the line with shorts on, and try and pay people to borrow their pants. So I left my $3,000 laptop and phone. We kind of run the risk and ask a local Mexican. I translated this page to Chinese.
Just got the classic stitch up. The old can't add an extra bag on the booking. Can't also do it with the airline, and then get to the airport. An extra bag cost me 200,000 won.
I'm here to take a couple of notes from this fella. Seeing him striking it out the centre. Smooth, brother. Got that right hand dominance, that Las Vegas backy. Beautiful, gentle afternoon in the Morelos Country Club. Here sits though Keegan Smith, relaxing on the grass, taking it in. It's present, baby.
Do a little bit of anything really you want to do.
The ocean, but it's pretty good.
Whatever. You got a day off today, and especially.
Langmo's got a supporter, some Mexican MILF. Can't blame her. Cannot blame her. Okay. Ruben's working on his serve today. What have you been struggling with when you serve?
The grip?
Yep.
I thought this was the grip.
What do you think you've gone too much to the... Oh, that can work sometimes if you're going for that Aiden Mayo sort of drop serve. Have you seen
I
that
had
one?
one night out and I completely forgot how to hold.
Yeah, that's what hanging out with Tomic will do to you. $11 a.m. start. Biggest match in Mexico.
Come on!
How are you feeling, Rubes?
Let's go 11 a.m. double.
How's your back feeling? You ready to throw me on the back or what?
I'm on it.
How you feeling, Coach?
Good.
You got any tips for us?
Oh, just took first steps in.
Okay, good tip. The lead into this week in Morelos, my third week in Mexico, was a different one. I'd flared the shoulder back up by the end of Mexico City from not being smart about rest and overtraining out of frustration of my level, or rather lack of it. I knew I had to be careful with it, but I embodied the Australian she'll be right attitude, much to my demise in Morelos. There's no training footage to show you, apart from those returns, because there wasn't any training done. I got into the singles draw, but withdrew as I was unable to possibly hit a serve and restricted on just about everything else. I felt bad for Ruben, and I also felt so lazy, but I knew rest and patience was my only chance of playing this match. Every day I was getting physio treatment, dry needling and deep tissue massage once a day around the shoulder, rotator cuff, lat and pec, then rest. I tried to keep the legs in shape with some stationary bike and lightweighted gym maintenance. The exercise attempts were just as important for the legs as it were the head. If you're feeling low mentally, go get your heart rate up and a sweat on. I dare ya. The morning of this match was the first time since my match in Mexico City a week earlier that I even tried to serve. In the nick of time, and with a gut full of painkillers, I was able to roll in 141-kilometre sliders. Pure effing relief. That playing the match was even possible, to be honest. I constantly spoke optimistically to Ruben about the shoulder, but in my gut I knew it was a close call to having to resort to hit topspin underarm serves to the backhand and try manage playing that way. I haven't dealt with many injuries in my career. There are probably three main reasons for that. Firstly, great genes. Thank you, Mum and Dad. Secondly, I definitely didn't overtrain as a growing kid, hence the late blooming, I guess. Lol. And thirdly, I'm actually pretty good with stretching, triggering and rolling, which is essentially self-massage with balls and rollers. And of course, not carrying too much trauma or stress in the body. That shit is lethal. Alright, so as you can see by the match, surprisingly I was able to bring a pretty good level. I think it helped that the last time I hit was in 2,400 meters altitude, so relative to that, this was actually pretty easy to keep the ball in, even though we were still at about 1,000 meters altitude. My partner Ruben isn't your classic double specialist, but rather just a bloody great tennis player. Unbelievable returns and serve, and a well of experience and equanimity to aspire for. A great dude to have by my side, and I felt like we actually worked pretty well this match. Our opponents Johnson and Mansouri have been climbing up the rankings at an attractive rate. They work well together. Johnson with a heap of doubles specialist attributes. Big net presence, great returns, and savvy court awareness. A good doubles player can make the court feel pretty small when they're at the net with their partner serving, squeezing the middle section of the court, something that I'm continually working on and something that Johnson does well. Mansouri, aside from being a lord with the ladies, has recently made more of a lean into doubles and complements Johnson well. A big dude with a cannon of a serve and great returns. His net skills aren't as good as Johnson, but his intimidating stature and long levers do a pretty good job up there. I couldn't help but flickering to the thought of a winless trip so far. And although I was enjoying myself out there, I also felt a sense of unease and frustration lurking. But I thought I did a good job of returning to the present moment, focusing on stalking that tennis ball and bringing some good vibes to my side of the court. I was off to Acapulco for the last tournament of the Mexico swing. Looking forward to diving in the ocean, that's for sure.
Dude, that is
Epic, eh? How good, man.
Oh, the beach is right there. Oh, the beach is right there. Look at the
Dude, are you kidding?
Oh.
Are you? You're looking at half of Team Staffergill. Team Staffergill. That's smooth. Yep.
I stopped to show you.
Yeah, you paused and I had to go.
Yeah, do you see that, Billy? The little pause? The little ducky pause?
Us just destroying them. Oh.
Oh, did you see that? That was the best drop shot he's ever hit. Incredible.
The boys just hired a board. Just bartering with some local. We're gonna go surf a couple of shories on Ghetto Town. Okay, story time. I think I mentioned in the last episode that I needed to get a visa for China and I was heading to China after this Mexico swing. I should have got my visa in Brisbane, but I won't go into that now. It was a mistake on my behalf. So I was under the assumption that this week in Mexico City, I could acquire my Chinese visa at the consulate. I had followed all the necessary protocol, had all the documentation ready for the application that I took into the centre. And so now my day off, I went into the Chinese consulate, Mexico City. And about an hour in to the line out the front, I was in a conversation with somebody that may be aware that I couldn't be wearing a white shirt in my passport photo that you had to bring along. So I kind of scanned the line, thought I'm probably going to have at least 30 minutes till I get to the front. I asked the dude to hold the spot in the line, and I looked up a passport photo taking place, and I jogged there. They lent me a black blazer. I got new passport photos taken. I've jogged back and got my spot in the line. Now, taking into consideration I had practice after this, I was dressed in tennis clothes, naturally. And once I got to the front of the line, now about an hour 45 in from when I first arrived, I was made aware that I wasn't allowed to enter the passport consulate application center without having long pants on. I then realized that I was the only one in the line with shorts on, and obviously I'm wearing shorts for the practice afterwards. So I then proceeded to try and hold my spot in the line and try and pay people to borrow their pants to go in, which didn't prove successful. So I looked up a clothing store nearby. I jogged 2 kilometers to a clothing store and it was closed. I jogged a kilometer to another one and it was a bit more of a woman's sort of yoga clothing store, so there was nothing there. So I was trying to think on my feet and I went back to the passport photo taking place, and considering they had a blazer to lend people for their photos, I thought they might have a pair of pants. So I'd offered the dude at the center, at the photo taking place, some money, and he lent me a pair of cargo pants. I've jogged back to the consulate. I've gone inside with my now cargo pants, and I've been about to go inside, and then they've said you can't bring any electronics inside. So I couldn't bring my phone, I couldn't bring my MacBook, laptop, which I had brought with in case I needed to jump on the computer and get some more documentation or something. So I had no one there, so I had to kind of run the risk and ask a local Mexican that was waiting in the line if they could hold my phone and my laptop while I went into the center. So I was a little bit nervy. I picked out sort of the most sophisticated looking young lady. I thought that was the least chance of getting the stuff robbed. So I left my $3,000 laptop and phone with her, and I proceeded to make my way into the application center. The lady at the teller denied my application because she said that I wasn't a resident of Mexico. I knew that this may happen, and I'd read on the website that it didn't matter if I was a resident of Mexico as long as I'd entered the country legally. So I left the application center. I ran back to the passport photo taking place. I got up the part of the Mexican Chinese consulate's website that stated that I did not need to be a resident and I only needed to have entered the country legally. I translated this page to Chinese. I paid the dude that I borrowed the pants off another 10 Australian dollars equivalent. I printed the page off in Chinese. I made sure I circled the correct part. I went back to the consulate, lined back up, found somebody else to give my laptop and phone to once again, entered the consulate in my cargo pants, and showed her the printout in Chinese that stated that I did not need to be a resident, and she gave me the old sorry, that is incorrect. And I said, well, it's interesting because here on your website it was updated on the 1st of March 2023, so it was about a year ago. And she said, no, that's incorrect on the website. So I thought, okay, chin, cop that one on the chin. Recalibrate, went off to training, late to training, my tail between my legs, and now I was really nervous because now it's a case of potentially having to fly home to get my visa. I'm hoping I'm going to reapply to do it in LA or in Orlando, Florida, and we'll see how that goes. But this is just some of the things that you just don't realize you have to deal with trying to just play a tennis tournament. Anyway, so I am grateful to have an Australian passport and China be one of the few places I have to grind out a visa, but TBC. Again, it was slightly different prep than I was used to for this match in Acapulco. Ruben was in singles qualifying, so was understandably inclined to practice singles from our arrival until his campaign was finished. We did get in some reps of volley feeding, but I didn't get any footage of that. I'm not sure you guys watching enjoy the knockoffs as much as me, but don't worry, they'll come again in China. I was just stoked to be in Mexico for tennis and able to play tennis, so I embraced the singles training and aimed to just enjoy hitting balls in any fashion. Acapulco is right on the beach and at the site where the ATP 500 is held. Some of the slowest courts I've ever stepped foot on, I must say, so just getting used to the conditions and de-rusting the strokes was fine with me. My shoulder had continued to improve since the week prior, but it was at a snail's pace. I was managing a light serving load leading into the match and still wasn't confident to hit a flat serve at full power without pain. Ruben brought great energy and positivity to the match. He was moving around the net well this night and pulled off some sick shot making. I was determined to leave it all out there and bounce the vibes off each other, but I was aware of a slow mental shift as this match went on. The appreciation for the improved shoulder was diminishing and my ego began quietly feeding on the things going against me. I was low on confidence now, the lowest I had felt in a while, a result of no wins and a lack of tennis overall. I felt for Ruben, but I tried my best every point, and that's all I can give. It didn't help that our opponents and good mates of mine, Rinky Hijikata and Matt Kiger, were playing some great tennis. They capitalised on their opportunities and Rinks returned really well. It's amazing how easy losing becomes when you're used to it, and the same goes for winning. Unfortunately, I was on the short end of that straw. I felt the doubt and lack of self-belief come into my head on those bigger points, a strange tussle. There's an epiphany I had a few months earlier. You attract what you resist. And I was trying to resist losing, not gunning for the win. I think that's part of the reason my game, and especially my serve, broke down under pressure. I thought about how I'd sold my van to play these events and had come away with 0 points. A tough thought to digest, but hey, that is life. I breathe thanks for the ocean and my mate Keegan to be able to surf, a way of recalling that there's a whole world out there and it's not just about tennis. It was kind of nice to actually allow myself that. Like, take a holiday, dude. Everybody knows, and I've probably said this so many times, I'm usually a very optimistic person, and it seems ironic if I'm on this episode, on this YouTube stuff, complaining, but I guess the whole point of it is to show the raw authenticity, it's show what it's actually like. And through this trip, I've had moments of feeling completely distraught. I've had moments of feeling completely unworthy. I've had moments of feeling like I have wasted the last 10 years of my life. Just moments. I'll come out of it, and I'll come out of it being realistic. And I've had moments of, I'm hanging out with a lot of my Aussie friends, and I'm the only one that's only there for doubles, and I'm the oldest out of all of them, sometimes, usually. That's why I like having Ruben hanging around. Just kidding, Rubes. But it can really send you, and so to show the raw side of it, that and I mean, I'm sure anyone out there has days like this in their normal life where they're feeling just completely and utterly small and crap and defeated. And I had times during this trip where I was really bought into that, and I actually had moments where I I felt almost like I couldn't even reach out to some of my best friends because I just didn't want to be that. I didn't want to bring anyone down, or just didn't want to. I just accepted that defeated feeling and thought, well, this is it. You know, it can be brutal. Like, then I'm thinking, okay, I am 30. I'm broke, and I don't really have many prospects. I'm thinking, wow, all I've got is tennis. So my best course of action to cultivate a good life is to be a tennis coach, and I've got good skills there, and I really know that I have the potential to be really passionate about that, because what's the alternative option? And this trip at times it drove me to immense pessimism, and but I've just leaned into all those things, those feelings. I've worked through them. I've accepted them at times, and I have faith that I have the strength in me, and I will conjure it up, and I will march forward, and I will find those brighter days ahead, and I will win tennis matches, which just sounds so shallow sometimes. Win tennis matches? Like, is that really it? Is that the thing that's going to make you feel better? Like, just, you know, yeah, it's wild. But again, that's what I'm here to do right now. And I will take all the lessons along with me. But right now, my goal is to win tennis matches and observe and be aware of the whole journey unfolding. So I will go on to LA now. I will try and sort out my visa for China. That's the next thing. I just feel like this whole script has just been, my personal narrative has been a victim mentality lately. And so I'm just trying to kind of wait for that script to flip. And because I notice my ego feeding on the negativity. Sometimes I notice my ego waiting for the next thing to happen that's against me, and then I'm like, yep, there it is. See, and the witness inside me, the spiritual work I've done, or just the general life experience, I know that that's bullshit, because my life's great and I'm so lucky, but it can just get to you sometimes. And so I'm just trying to keep choosing the noble path. And right now the noble path is accepting that I screwed up by not doing my visa in Brisbane. I'm going to go to LA. I'm going to try and make it happen so I don't have to fly home before China. And I'm going to go to China with hope, with strength, with courage, and with appreciation. And hopefully I can produce some positivity for these next episodes. I don't want to be a sob story. I don't want to... Come on. Okay, that's it. Maybe. Let's go.
Just got the classic stitch up. The old can't add an extra bag on the booking. Can't also do it with the airline, and then get to the airport. An extra bag cost me 200,000 won, which is 220 Aussie dollars.
Really search it up.
Come on. Delanger's just gone to get some lunch. Me and Tui have come up with a plan. See how many times we can make him go, wow, before the end of the day. Alright, let's go. I feel like travel time really forces me to reflect on the week that's been, the month that's been, and just really make sure I know what I need to work on. Make sure I'm checking in with myself and see how I'm going, how I'm dealing with life on the tour, and just really get a bit introspective and figure out what I really want and get clear about my intentions for the week ahead. and especially after struggling last week mentally, I think it was really important to make sure my priorities were right. I thought since last week's mental performance, I thought I would get my mullet back to symbolise a bit of internal change, get that bit of mongrel back, and just I was due for a haircut. So this is the racket setup I've been using since the start of the year. I've been using the racket for 2 years, the Ultra Pro 97, but the string setup I've been using since December, and that's Natural Gut, Luxlon Natural Gut 1.3 in the mains, strung at about 60 pounds with 10% pre-stretch. Obviously varies week to week depending on condition. And in the crosses, I'm using Alu Power Luxlon Big Banger 1.25, strung at about 56, give or take, week to week, with no pre-stretch. Good job. Had my first couple practice sessions in Gwangju. A little bit faster here, a little bit hotter. Ball's coming off the racket a little bit more quickly and it's flying a little bit more, but still quite slow, I'd say, compared to most other places around the world. New haircut, new attitude, new week, feeling better, much more positive. Didn't really give into the negative thoughts today. Day one of doing so, and I feel good about it. So, and I coincidentally hit the ball really well. It's really weird. Yeah, it's a really nice day today. Gonna get the shuttle in about 10 minutes, have some nice food and chill out in my hotel room, go for a stretch, and get stuck into another day of practice tomorrow before Monday start potentially. Korea is pretty similar to Japan actually. It's really like clean and organised and structured. People are very nice. They don't walk on red lights ever. And most importantly, they've got these. Quick, easy lunch, taste a joke. It's gone straight in my basket. Just kidding, just kidding. Just relax, come on. It's the morning of my first round in Gwangju. Got big swinging Taipei dude, Tungling Wu, Tony, his English name is. Legend, real nice dude. But gonna try and not like him on the court. Try and fire up. But no, I felt quite a big shift mentally the last couple of days on the training court. Felt back to my old self where I'm really just competing and controlling what I can control and not really worry about how I'm hitting. And I feel like the mind's much more focused on the controllables, which is good. I'm not so concerned about winning today. I'm more concerned with just trying to enjoy myself and smile like Alcaraz, not take this game so seriously. Because last week, it was really getting me down. So I think the goal is to not let that kind of mindset drag on for too long and nip it in the bud. I've done it in training the last couple of days. It's training, I know, but I definitely feel like I've found that mindset I want to implement on the match court. So that's been really good. So I'll see if I can do it today. Gonna have my coffee at my coffee spot. Rendezvous. Pretty good coffee, but I do miss Aussie coffee. So it's over and out. So this match, the goal was just to make this an absolute dogfight and try and be a lot kinder to myself. And I thought I'd have a little bit of a shitty start just to make it really tough for myself and see how kind I could be with 3 unforced errors in the first game. Yeah, you got an early break, and I wasn't too panicked though. I was feeling pretty good mentally, and just ready to absolutely compete. And that was definitely at the forefront of my mind. Not so much how I was playing. It was more just trying to find that mongrel that I've maybe missed the last week. But Tunglin, he's a great ball striker and got a good serve on him, good first serve on him, and he made me move a lot this match, as you can see already. He's pushing me side to side. I lost that point, but it's a break point, and I put a lot of pressure on him. So I was happy with that, and I was really happy with that. Being able to get that break back, and yes, you can say I want to make this match just competitive fight, but you have to put scoreboard pressure on them to be able to do that. So I was happy to get that break back and consolidate with a hold there. And this is a bit of a weird situation. He hit a false at 5-4, trying to serve to stay in the set, and went back, thought he was going to spew, and then came back and doubled, which was interesting. I don't know if that's nerves or tactics, I'm not sure. Or just food poisoning. I don't think it'd be tactics. He's an absolute legend. But you never know. People want it bad in this sport. Wow, that was good. That was good. I don't remember that shot actually. Yeah, you can see already these rallies. I'm moving a lot, but I'm wearing down, making him play a lot of balls, and I'm able to get that first set 6-4 after being down a break. So I'm feeling momentum's in my favour. I've got another break point to really solidify that momentum and get a good stranglehold in this match. And I thought I got absolutely gypped there, Ryan Gypley, but you can see on the slow-mo here. Yeah, that's Gypley, for sure. But anyway, I refocus, which was really good, I thought. But yeah, I feel like he came up with some good stuff on big points this match, particularly in the second and third set. Yeah, get that break, and momentum's in my favour. And that 4M right there, me and Wayne looked back after the match and just thought, I was up to a set 2 love, 15 love on my serve, and I just went way too hard at the forehand, got him back in the game, and he's a bit relaxed, down a break, setting a break, and anything can happen when someone's in that mentality. So that was it seemed like an unimportant shot, but tennis is such a game of small margins. Every point can count, every point can bite you in the butt. or bud. I don't know what it is. Yeah, now a couple wayward errors. I'm maybe trying to push the envelope a bit too much, and maybe going a little bit away from what's been working, which has just been hitting good quality shots and moving really well. Not trying to pull trigger, but it worked for me there. And this is a really important game here. It's momentum's really weighing on this game. You see the fist pumps. That's just indicative of my good attitude. I think I got a little bit angry this match, but I really made it a fight. But to settle now, and this was when it's mentally tough when you especially when you think you should be up on the scoreboard and you're down. That's when I think it can be really tough mentally to stay focused and be kind to yourself. As you can see, the screen watching it back doesn't really do it justice, but Tung Lin's hitting these backhands really low and hard, and on these courts, these outside courts anyway, which are quite skiddy, different to the stadium courts, which are a bit slower. It was really hard to do anything off them. I'm down 2 break points here, save 1 to go down 4-2 in the third, and another error, and that's just from lack of positioning. I just wasn't in the right position, leaning back off that shot, and another error for 5-2, getting frustrated. And I remember before this game, I just really wanted to make him serve it out. And I did that. I lost this point, but I get up to 5-3, 15-all. That's a big miss, just a rally ball forehand. When he's trying to serve for it, it's just a no-no. And he seals it with an ace. Bit disappointed with not finding a way to win that match when I was in a good position, but I walked off the court proud of my effort, and I think it's a step in the right direction. Just a couple losers back to the drawing board, going to the courts. I only got about 28 things to work on after watching the match back with Wayne.
Is that all?
Yeah. What do you reckon? Pretty nice centre this week. We've got centre court just there. And we've got another show court with a really nice grandstand just over here. Followed by a fair few outside courts, so it's really good for practice, which is good for me because I'm a loser now. So I'm going to need some time on the practice court. Got dubs tomorrow with Beard. So I'm going to lock in for a bit of pracky. So the day after my loss against Tung Lin, my tournament wasn't done yet. I still had some doubles with this guy on the left, Blake Ellis, Beard as we call him. And we thought we'd get ready for dubs by sharpening up our volleys and get a little bit specific for the dubs court and get ready. We're playing against the Korean wildcards. So I think doubles is extremely important for singles players to develop parts of their games which they wouldn't normally work on. And for instance, volleys, I feel like volleys are a bit of a lost art. In dubs you still have to serve to specific spots, and even more so in dubs you have to return to specific spots, and I think that can expose a lot of things. And I think dubs, you're still out there to win. You still really want to win. The competitive still comes out even though it's dubs court, so you're playing under pressure and it's just more match time, more court time. And I think it's really important for singles players, and it can really help develop a lot of areas of the game. Another tournament done, another travel day. Got the bags packed. got a 4-hour bus ride from Gwangju to Seoul, and then a 4-hour plane from Seoul to Shenzhen, arriving about 5 or 6 p.m. Today's going to be my day off, so about to have a last supper with the boys. Goodbye, Gwangju. Travel time.